Hi guys, welcome back to What's Streamin'. I'll be hosting this episode. I'm with the great Josh. How you doing today, Josh?
Do you know what? I'm really good. I'm very excited.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode than normal. We're going to go over our top five streaming projects of the year so far as of the 19th of August. Um, it'll be series and movies, anything that you can find streaming currently on any platform. So yeah, we'll start with five. We'll go one by one, five and five, four and four, etc. So starting on number five for me, it's technically a 2022 streaming, even though it started late 2021. I'm gonna keep it here because it deserves to be on this list. Demon Slayer season two, the Entertainment District arc. One of the best seasons of anime I have ever seen in my life. I'm actually wearing the Demon Slayer shirt right now.
Oh,
One of the best seasons of anime I have ever seen. The quality of animation in this is movie level, and I don't understand how they have the time and the budget to actually animate the way that they did. But I don't. There's no other anime that's topping its animation currently. Maybe you could throw Mob Psycho 3 in there. Maybe you could throw in like One Piece. But I think it really helps with the fact that they've moved to one arc seasons. Um, and having one arc seasons gives you less episodes. I believe there's only like 11 or 12 episodes this season. And having less episodes like that, you can focus way more on the animation for each individual episode, progressing Tanjiro's story, progressing Inosuke's, Zenitsu's. It also introduced, technically, if you want to count it, the Flame Hashira Rengoku during the Mugen Train redo, which they did. Um, and this the end of this season pushes us forward towards season three, which will be the Swordsmith Village arc. And after that, there is only two arcs left. So we are only a couple years away from the end of the Demon Slayer anime. So that is very saddening to hear. But Josh, what do you got at number five?
I have got Ms. Marvel. I thoroughly enjoyed the introduction of Kamala Khan into the MCU. It's quite embarrassing. My only prior sort of content with Kamala in was obviously the Avengers game. It's pretty clear by now. I'm not a big comics guy, but he says wearing a Marvel Studios hoodie. But re- I was sold on the first two episodes of this season. I know there was sort of like a bit in the middle where it slowed down, but I was really impressed with the finale, and I thought all round it was a really good series, and I am very excited to see a continuation of Kamala's story. Um, it was just really good. So yeah, I think out of the Marvel shows that we've had in full, obviously Moon Knight as well. I did really like Moon Knight as well, but Ms. Marvel just topped it for me.
It had a lot. It had a lot of heart, uh, focusing on like a young character like that. Um, so moving on, going to number four, I have to choose Harley Quinn season three. I don't. It's not finished yet. It's currently airing. I got to see the full season. This, I pray. I pray to you. No, I'm not praying to you, Zaslav. No, don't get rid of the show. This show is one of the best DC projects ever made. It is one of the best animated shows uh, currently running, and I would say one of the best animated shows of the last 10 years. Uh, it is filled with such a great cast that I won't even say they do understand the characters, but it's such a new take on all these characters. You got Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Poison Ivy, King Shark, Clayface, a plant called Frank, and they're just this ragtag group of supervillains who do supervillain things, but it's like following them on their day-to-day lives and the emotions that come with it. And the show just has so much. You can see it has so much love for the DC universe and all the properties that come with it, but it doesn't ever shy away from the fact that this show is about Harley. It season 3 has just driven it to a whole other level for, I would say, DC fans in general. And I'm a big Marvel guy, and this show is one of my absolute favorites of all time. I think I really think that if they don't can this show and it does get renewed for a season 4, that this show could run for 5 or 6 seasons if they really wanted it to. Because as much as it's a very non-serialized show, which you don't see with a lot of animated shows nowadays. Everything has like an overarching plot, and it carries over from one season to the next. And as of right now, there's actually supposed to be a spin-off series from it, focusing on the character Kite Man. So it's
Ooh.
fingers crossed that that doesn't get canned. But what do you got at number 4?
I have, even though it is ranked at number 4, I genuinely think this is my favorite project of the year. And the only reason, oh, sorry, the only reason I'm ranking it at 4 is because um, when you're comparing quality, there's 3 projects that are far superior. But number 4 for me is Chippendale Rescue Rangers,
Mhm.
and my God, what a film! I was very presumptuous when they first announced this until you find out that obviously it's Andy Samberg. I can't remember his name. I think it's
John
Akiva
Mulaney.
Schaffer, and
Oh,
obviously
okay.
John
Yeah, John
Mulaney.
Mulaney. Yeah.
And it is probably the first time where I've rewatched a screener and used up all the watches because it just had everything. It's a really good story. They incorporate so many franchises from so many different areas of film and TV. Obviously, you've got your main Disney cameos, but then you've got so many other people showing up. And I thought, obviously, aside from the cameo fest, it's it. I I don't know. The cameo is obviously the main selling point of this film,
Mhm.
but it was just so funny and seeing like ugly Sonic. Um, and as a big Disney and a big animation fan, it was everything I wanted it to be and expected it to be. And especially to be surprised and so overwhelmed by a streaming film was a great feeling. And I do think Rescue Rangers would have been great in cinemas. I know
Oh my God. Yeah.
this is a big talking point with obviously Disney Plus films at the minute. And one of my upcoming ones is a certain one that I would have loved to see in cinemas. But uh, the other side to it is it's such a great thing that we are getting these such high quality films on streaming. So yeah, Rescue Rangers is my number 4. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Moving on to number 3. Uh, I have what I believe to be one of the best comic to film slash television adaptations I think ever made is Netflix's The Sandman. Um, The Sandman, I didn't expect much out of it because it's one of those properties that has been in development hell for so long. It was a movie at one point in the 90s, and then it was a TV show in the early 2000s, and then it was a movie again, and then it was a TV show again. The creator Neil Gaiman's been trying to get a project made for this for super duper long, and it's one of those comics that it's super hard to adapt. It's super hard to nail it and to adapt it without changing a lot from the source material and keeping all the things that made it great in the first place. But my God, they did it. It was highly regarded as just one of the most unadaptable properties out there. And somehow, some way, they nailed it to a T. I mean, so many of the iconic scenes in the comic book are almost word for word from the pages put into the script. Um, it gives, I don't even know how to describe it, but it is one of the most entertaining dark fantasy uh television films altogether, that like projects that I've ever seen. It brings in a lot of questions about humanity and life, and it's really really fun because you get to see all these questions and all these experiences from the eyes of a person who is above a god. You are following Dream of the Endless, who is, they are not a god. They are a being of pure existence alongside the likes of death, despair, desire, all of it. These things that we have in our everyday lives, we get to see it through the eyes of the personification of our dreams. And it's a beautiful, beautiful show. You get so many fantasy elements from the times that you see in the dreaming. You get to see characters like Cain and Abel from like the beginning of the Bible. They're in it, but you get to see what this universe is, what actually Cain and Abel is in this universe. You get to see what, well, how death and dream would interact. And one of the most beautiful episodes of television I've ever seen is, I think, episode 5 or episode 6 of it, where dream and death, brother and sister, pretty much just take a little stroll around the city together while death's doing her job. And it is unbelievably beautiful the way that they portray someone moving on to the other side. And I don't think I could have asked for more from this series. But Josh, what do you have at number 3?
I have something that I know you have in your. I think you have it in your top 5. That is, Prey. Um, I was. I think this is my streaming film of the year so far. I don't. Looking forward, I don't think anything might top it unless Pinocchio is absolutely
Oh my
cinema.
gosh, I'm looking
Either
forward to that.
I'm I'm excited for both. I think we're very lucky that we're getting two very different adaptations of the story this year. But I'm so excited for Disney's. So yeah, Prey was a big one. I've obviously mentioned this on the podcast. I've only ever seen the first Predator film, and then I've seen bits of Alien versus Predator, and then the sequel. Oh no, have I seen the sequel? I think I've
You
seen
have to.
clips. I think I've seen clips. Um, but I thought it was a really good. I wouldn't say a reimagining, but it put that franchise, and it gave it a new idea,
Mhm.
whilst also staying true to the original story and the film. And I have never in the last few months not been that hooked to my TV.
Eyes glued.
Yeah, like phone was way over there. It was me and Prey, and it was great. I think that, like I said, with Chip and Dale, this film especially would have been insane in a cinema.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you have anything to say about Prey, but it was great. It was action. It was a bit of body horror at times. It was a thriller. It had everything and more. So yeah.
Yeah, I do got a lot to say about Prey because my number 2 of the year is Prey. Easily the best Predator film. I've seen every Predator film, all the Aliens films, both Alien versus Predator films. Easily the best Predator film that's ever been made, other than, I would say, Predator 1. Uh, this movie was phenomenal. It acted as such a perfect relaunch of it underneath Disney slash 20th century.
Yep.
Um, and there was so much about it. And like you said, it kept a lot of the old source material, but also gave it like a breath of fresh air. And I think that's what Prey is going to act as, is sort of a soft reboot of the Predator franchise, because now that they've got the idea that you can just throw a Predator in any interesting period of time and it will be amazing. I've seen
Yeah.
some tweets like, throw a Predator in the middle of like samurai era Japan, right? Like that'd be so cool,
It's all about the Industrial Revolution. Just
right?
throw one in there.
Just throw a Predator anywhere in history. But genuinely, this film was beautifully shot. I can't remember who the cinematographer is off the top of my head, but it's beautiful. Like I don't think there was a single shot in this movie where I looked at it and I was like, oh, that was composed a little weird. Or, maybe the spacing between some of the actors in the film, were a little weird. Nothing. Everything is beautiful, especially the final act. Because the movie itself does spend a lot of time setting up a lot of tension, little teases here and there. But when it gets to the third act, it's just rolling the entire time. It's just action, blood, gore, like, and the fact that we got to see this all from the perspective of a Native American woman
Yep.
was amazing. Played Amber Midthunder, amazing,
We've
absolutely stellar. Uh, and to have a kind of not even a reimagining, but an introduction of a new type of predator, which I believe they're calling the feral predator. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and I didn't even know, but I've seen a lot of behind the scenes videos. A lot of the predator was practical.
Yeah.
I've been seeing like the guy who actually was in the suit posting a bunch behind the scenes stuff on TikTok, and it's so cool
I
to see.
think my favorite clip I've seen from the behind the scenes of that film is the filming on the camp, and obviously the predators going like that.
Oh yeah.
But there's no sound, and you're expecting like a massive scream, and you can just hear like a little like tick tick tick.
Hmm.
But that's just movie magic. I'm so glad that
Yeah.
they've gone practical for this.
I,
The
I've
costumes.
seen one of the TikToks, and it was him, and he was sitting there, and I think they were trying to figure out where they wanted him to start in the shot. So he was standing there, and they were like, "Okay, that looks cool." And then the guy in front of him said something like, "Oh, go back there. Let's see what you look like from back there." And he doesn't move, and you see him sitting around in the Predator outfit, and nobody says anything. And then you hear the guy underneath all of that makeup and all of those prosthetics. You hear him go, "Hey, you need to speak louder." And you just hear it emanating from this intimidating looking predator. It was the goofiest thing. But yeah, what do you got at number two?
Oh, my number two is a brand new BBC series called Red Rose. So Red Rose is, I believe it's only available in the UK at the minute, but it is going to be available on Netflix internationally. So the best way to describe Red Rose, it is a British horror drama based on social media, and there's a lot of discussion of mental health. And have you ever seen the film Countdown?
I don't think
Or
so.
do you know the concept of Countdown?
Mm-mm.
So in Countdown, there's an app, and when you download this app, it will tell you when you're going to die. Basically, there's a
Mm.
countdown. It'll be like 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 3 hours. Red Rose sort of takes the idea, but instead of a countdown sort of thing, it is a game.
Okay.
And this Red Rose will tell you things to do, and it starts sooner rather than later. The app starts manipulating a lot of people, um, and the show follows a group of, God, I can't remember if they're 16 or 18, but the teenagers, they've just finished school. It's the summer holidays, and it is absolutely brilliant TV. I won't spoil the twist, but as this mystery unfolds and you find out what's behind this app that is just terrorizing people, like this app is crazy. You can see dead people through the camera. Um, it's very much Black Mirror.
I was just about to ask. That sounds like Black
Yeah,
Mirror.
it is it's. I'm trying to not spoil it. Um, Basically, as the season progresses, you find out about the origins of this app, um, what's associated with it, and you end up with this finale, that is just really good. Like, it's not actiony, but there are some moments of there's like chases and the earlier horror elements are really good. And then it stops and becomes more of a thriller. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I just had to
So
catch myself up.
in the middle of you talking there, I completely forgot a show that 100% is my number one, but I can't take back the original number one because it also deserves to be there.
So it's more of
So I'm gonna say
an honorable mention.
honorable mention for number one. Won't say it's tied because it's not tied. It would totally be number two, but it's above Prey for me. Honorable mention for the number one slot, The Boys season three. The second best ongoing show currently, I think, on television, which is only behind the show that I'm about to mention. Um, beautiful, beautiful show. Anthony Starr as Homelander,
Go.
uh, Goat, Jack Quaid, Huey, Goat, Aaron Moriarty, Starlight, Annie, Goat. Right. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I do want to talk about this number one slot. But yeah, The Boys season three, absolutely amazing. Number one for 2022. I cannot believe I forgot about this because it is literally, and I talk about it so much on Twitter and I won't shut up about it. It is my favorite television show of all time. Barry season three.
Oh.
Barry season three is, and I can say this confidently because I've watched it like 2.5 times now. I didn't finish my third watch through of season three. Confidently can say the best season of television I've ever seen. The only thing that I could think comes close to Barry season three is True Detective season one, if anybody's seen that. Um, Barry as a whole is such a creative idea for a show, focusing on a hitman who, in the middle of going on a hit, falls in love with acting. He wants to be an actor. Um, so it becomes a show of trying to balance the dark side of his life, where he's lived in the shadows, but his passion and his want is to be in the spotlight. So of course he's got a lot of baggage that follows him. Everything gets really, really hard. Uh, I've never seen a TV show as good as Barry, but Barry season three as a whole is so the entire season you are on the edge of your seat. Every minute that an episode is playing, your heart is racing, like you're sweating, like you don't know what's going to happen, and then bam, end of the season. It's an abrupt cutoff, right to credits, and then you got to wait till the next season. I mean, Bill Hader is my favorite actor of all time because of this TV show. The supporting cast, Henry Winkler is in it, and
Oh,
he's
I
the
love him.
sweetest man. Sweetest man. I've met him. He is so sweet, and it's such a heartbreaking show, especially when you see it go from this goofy comedy in like season one with some dark elements to it to season three where it's like, dude, this is depressing. Like there's not even comedy in it anymore.
See,
I
I was gonna say I've never seen this show,
Oh
but
please.
I always just thought it was like a comedy,
Oh my God, no. Like it
and not
starts out like that, but no.
and like I've seen pictures and stuff, and obviously I know that Bill Hader's in it, and I
Mm.
can't remember the name of the actor. Is there a? I think it's Barry, with the bald guy.
Oh, you're talking about NoHo Hank, Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah, it's definitely
Love
the
him.
same show.
He
Yeah.
is. He's the funniest character in the show. But
So,
I won't dwindle on that. What do you have at your number one slot?
well, you'd mentioned obviously your honorable mention,
Yeah.
but it just so happens to be my number one. We spoke about it what, a month ago,
Mhm.
but yeah, it is The Boys season three. I only watched The Boys for the first time this year. I did a binge watch about April. Um, and I sped. I was as fast as A Train. I sped through seasons 1 to 2 in preparation for season 3, and this is TV like nothing else. It is superb. The characters are fully fleshed out. You like the ones you meant to like. You hate the ones you meant to hate. It is just a great example of really good writing. And then it's superhero based as well. Um, I think it's brilliant. Um, on the note of obviously superhero writing, I want to mention there's I don't know if you saw it or not, but obviously I can't remember who's developing it. I think HBO are developing like a series about a superhero film studio or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't
It
remember who's
was
attached.
it's two people. I remember there's two people attached to it, but yeah, it's about the makings of a superhero film, but it'll be
Yeah.
like a parody or almost kind of like poking fun at how popular superhero films become. Yeah.
I'm hoping that does the boys level of piss take.
Yeah.
Because it just is a perfect show, and we've got a spin-off on the way.
Gen V. And we
We've
already have Diabolical as well, which is really good. If and nobody's checked that out, you should watch that.
I need to dive in.
Yes. I am actually currently wow. So Anthony Stars has not been nominated for an Emmy for playing Homelander. Not even nominated. He got nominated. He got nominated for Best Actor in a Streaming Series this year. Didn't win though. I'm actually mind blown because
He's insane.
like Anthony Starr and Bill Hader playing those roles in both of their shows. I don't. Bill Hader, he's won too many Emmys because of Barry, but like Anthony Starr,
Yeah.
the level of acting this guy
Oh,
does as Homelander is insane. Like the transformations he makes in the middle, especially that mirror scene.
yeah.
He just goes through every emotion, and like Anthony Starr just kills it.
But yeah, no, that was a good top 5.
Great top five. Just as a recap, my top five was Demon Slayer season 2. I'm forgetting. Demon Slayer season 2,
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn season 3 at 4, Sandman at 3, Prey at 2, Boys honorable mention for 1, and of course Barry season 3 at number 1. Beautiful.
I'll do like a little clap. And then mine, Ms. Marvel coming in at number 5. Chippendale Rescue Rangers in the Multiverse of Madness at 4. Prey at number 3. Red Rose at number 2. And The Boys season 3 at 1.
Beautiful.
Yay!
I think we had some good choices. I think we had some
Yeah,
good choices.
and
I don't think people would disagree.
I think there's a good mix as well.
100%.
You've got your comedies, your horror dramas, yeah. But yeah,
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can check all of our stuff out at thestreamer.com. Our socials will be in the bio of this podcast, I believe.
if I remember.
If Josh remembers. So go give those a follow. Go check out the site. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.